Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link to you down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please subscribe to all my YouTube pages and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're having an emergency show. We got a lot to discuss. I take live callers on my radio show. Call in. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets hiring Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator. They also hired Keith Carter as their offensive line coach and running game coordinator as well. Bravo. Bravo to Sulla getting it done, bringing a veteran guy in here. Now, we all know Nathaniel Hackett had interviewed for the Jets on a Wednesday. And I've mentioned him multiple times. He was one of the guys that I actually wanted to end up being the New York Jets offensive coordinator. I talked about not wanting to have, some brand new, kind of hack-a-sack offensive mind brought in here. A guy, I wanted a veteran guy that had called plays before, that knew, that had the chops of play calling already, wasn't going to have to come in here and try to figure things out, wasn't going to have to come in here and try to put things together. He's trying to learn this and learn that on the fly, all the while, we have all these expectations upcoming on the season. I wanted a guy that when he stepped into the locker room, players knew, hey, this is a guy that has a resume, this is a guy that I need to respect, and this is a guy that understands how to put me in position to make plays, and I think Hackett is the guy that can do that here for us. So we're going to cover all of this, all right? Now, again, he interviewed on a Wednesday. I was hyped about it, right? For those of you that do not know, Hackett, okay, Nathaniel Hackett is the son of Paul Hackett. Okay, Paul Hackett was the Jets offensive coordinator under Herman Edwards, one of my favorite Jets head coaches. All right, for those of you that don't remember, you play to win the game. Okay, you don't play to just play it. That was Herman Edwards. Phenomenal speech. But so Paul Hackett was here 2001 to 2004. So he has some ties to the Jets, and here we're sitting now with his son Nathaniel Hackett. Sulla's our head coach here, and Nathaniel Hackett has ties to Sulla, right? Him and Sulla coached as assistants with the Jaguars 2015 to 2016. Hackett then went on to be the Jaguars offensive coordinator from 2016 to 2018, okay? Now, he helped the Jaguars get to an AFC championship with Blake Bortles as their quarterback. That's huge, okay? That is huge. Now, if you look at those seasons when he was there, at one point the Jags were 6th in total offense. What Hackett was able to do was look at Blake Bortles, and we all know Blake Bortles was terrible. Whoa, he was terrible, right? But what he was able to do was look at Blake Bortles, see all the deficiencies, right? See all the deficiencies, then see all the positives, and pull all of the best that he could out of Blake Bortles. He set up an offensive scheme that allowed Blake Bortles to go out there and be successful. That is huge. And we saw Blake Bortles as well. Some of the things that he did with Blake Bortles, he put him on the move a bit quite as well, right? We saw Blake Bortles kind of moving and running a little bit that year as well, which really helped. I'm telling you, the Jags those years had a really solid running game too. So when you look at this situation, right, a reason why I'm talking about this is because we have a guy here in Zach Wilson who a lot of people have tons of questions about. A lot of people already believe that he's a bust, right? And so when you have an offensive coordinator that has shown a history of being able to pull the best out of a guy that isn't very talented, you wonder what he can do for Zach Wilson, who's a guy that has all the talent in the world, but just can't put it together out there. Is Hackett the key that can be put in that lock to unlock Zach's potential? Maybe, simplifying the scheme a bit more, or utilizing his skill set a bit better, or putting him in positions to make plays, allowing him to see things, or maybe it's just instructional teaching, whatever it is. I think the Hackett has the ability to do that because of what we saw him do for Blake Bortles. That's going to be huge here. That's huge. So that's a positive to him as well. And again, the running game with Hackett is big too. Now, keep in mind that Hackett also went on to be the Packers offensive coordinator as well, 2019, 2021. And that was under Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur has a similar system, kind of a Shanahan-y, West Coast kind of offense that he runs as well. A lot of heavy run game, a lot of, labor intensive on the quarterback, get the ball out of your hands quickly. That's the kind of scheme that Hackett runs. Very timing, rhythm based, get the ball out of your hands quickly, strong running game, great running call, stuff like that. So a very familiar scheme kind of when you look at what we've run before we fired Mike LaFleur. So we're coming in here and we're continuing that type of scheme going forward. Now, when Hackett was the Packers offensive coordinator, the Packers had a top 10 offense with him. All right, Packers had a top 10 offense. They also had a number one scoring offense in 2020 with him as well. And we all know he also coached Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? He was there on the staff with Aaron Rodgers, which is huge because, there's a lot of talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets swirling around. He's one of the guys that I want as well. So maybe, and we'll talk about this as things go on, right? We'll be talking about this live on the radio show as well. Maybe this is something that could set the situation up for Rodgers to become a Jet. I don't want to go too far. I'm just saying, But right now we're just talking about Hackett, being named our offensive coordinator. So we all know, and I get a lot of pushback from fans when I talked about Hackett as well. They said, well, he was with the Broncos. Things didn't work out there. He was terrible. The offense was terrible. Yes, he got fired after 15 games, of his first season. Yes, things didn't work out well. He may not be a good head coach, but we're not asking him to come in here and be the head coach. We're asking him to come in here and be the offensive coordinator. And I think he can succeed at that because a lot of people talk about that Broncos situation. And, when you look at the situation, one of the things that kind of stands out to you is maybe Russell Wilson wasn't the right guy to bring in for Hackett's offense. A lot of people talk about that. The Hackett, again, has a very rhythm-based offense, quick throws, stuff like that. And Russell Wilson wants to hang on to the ball a bit longer than he should and kind of wants to roll out the pocket and make plays that way. And things just didn't work out. A lot of people have said a lot of things about Russell Wilson and his talent or whatever, whatever it is. But I'll tell you what, I think that Hackett, can shed that situation because when you look at his resume, he has a lot of success under his belt. So I think he can come here and be successful, and he might be the right guy to come in here and rejuvenate Zach Wilson's career. Then you also look at the situation. Keith Carter is now our offensive line coach, okay? He's also our running game coordinator as well. So we're bringing him in after we moved on from Benton. Carter was a former Tennessee Titans offensive line coach for 5 seasons. Sulla himself said he was even shocked that Carter was let go, but it is what it is there. And again, him and Sulla have a relationship as well. Carter worked with the Falcons and the Seahawks, and him and Sulla, were there together with the Seahawks. They actually won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks together. So it's exciting bringing another guy, man, especially when you look at the Jets running game, which has struggled. It struggled this year. We finished 25th in rushing, 24th in yards per carry. You know that Breece Hall is the New York Jets leading rusher in the season? And Breece Hall got injured pretty early in the season. Didn't play most of the season. It's wild. It's wild. So he's going to come in, be able to help with our offensive line, really step and boost our running game up. And I think that'll bode really well for the New York Jets because we're a power running football team. That's our identity so far. That's what we've seen. When we were at our best this season offensively, it was when we were handing the ball to Breece Hall and he was handling business. When the running game was just off the charts, Michael Carter was making some moves pretty early in the season as well. And then once that went away, curtailed off, the offense really tanked down the hole. Went straight down the drain. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the hiring of Hackett? What are your thoughts about Keith Carter being brought in as well as the Jets offensive line coach and running game coordinator? I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think this is a good hire, and I think the things that we can do offensively now are going to be turned around. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.